about black people and that black people were in the Democratic plantation.
No. Okay. Right. Okay. I got it now. Hey, that's the old Republican Party. Okay. Before it got taken over and coup d'etat happened by Donald Trump. I mean, or anybody else that was quietly working on that engine. They adopted that. So right now we're on our heels right now, just trying to hang on to certain things that we do and be able to speak about it. The reason is this, right? One of the things that you can't do is you can't fight ignorance. You have to educate first. We have to inform the people. And if you can shut down the conversations, and it's already not enough already. You only got one or two, maybe three.
Yeah, but why should you get contracts for millions of dollars because of your skin color as opposed to the character of your personage, or how good of the quality of your work is, or how low your bid price is?
Wait, is that Quinn said that?
No, Adrian.
Adrian in the calm down.
Huh?
There was somebody named Adrian that just said it.
They said the point of giving black people contracts is because of the reasons that you just stated, Adrian. What has happened in this country historically is that white people have been getting contracts simply because they're white and not because they're qualified. Doing it this way actually equalizes the playing field. So let's not deal with this bullshit, Adrian.
I mean, that's just your opinion, sir. And you may be in an LGBTQ union, but I'm not in an LGBTQ union, so I don't know what it's like to get free money for being a gay black man.
Get a better comeback. You don't have to bring up my sexuality. Like, yeah, let it go.
You guys are not pathetic. You guys aren't talking about anything.
Wait, please. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I wanted to say this. We got to think this is really important. And we talk about, when I hear that conversation, where that comes from, and all skin folk, let's get that out of the way right off the bat. I'm really feeling like, in my experience, and I've been around, I'm an activist all the way, but I'm also pragmatic. I would call myself an independent. I'm either Democrat or Republican because of some of the things I've seen Democrats get away with. Sometimes they take it as granted, and they've made some things that shouldn't have been happened. So I will say that I'm more of an independent. I'm one of those in the middle voters. I could go Republican. I never voted Republican yet, but I could have easily done that. In the Bush era, I could have easily swung over either way because of some of the policies. But at the same time, my Democratic bona fides, because they've adopted what the Lincoln Party, the old Republican Party, was supposed to be. It inverted. At one point in time, it was the Republican Party that freed, emancipated, the slaves, and it was the Republican Party that did a lot of things that happened that made freedom and progress possible. So now we got to be even nimble. I think we got to be nimble and adjusted. And now when you talk about why should we get contracts for the color of our skin, not the content of our character, it's because of the fact that for so many times our character and the content of our character was ignored and vilified and ignored when we were 10 times better. And because people who were not qualified got so much for so long to do everything in this country now, and we got nothing, including our 40 acres and a mule. Now, you go back to that and all the land that was taken from us, and every time we rebuilt it, take Rosewood, take Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, every time we rebuilt it, every time we were on our rise, we got decimated to nothing. Attacked, killed, maimed, shut down, and shut out of everything. Housing, education, the fight continues, jobs, food deserts, environmental racism, dumping all kind of garbage in our neighborhoods where we live, and we can't even live area. And we say, well, we'll just move. Well, you can't move. When everybody moved, the Great Migration, that's why Bronzeville, a town that I develop in right now in Chicago, if any Chicago's in the house, go ahead, give it up, because we're doing big things here in the city. But in Bronzeville, that was the black bottom. That's where all the blacks from the South had to move because they go home. They couldn't live anywhere else, hardly, without selling out or dumbing themselves down and getting a along just to get along and get into some neighborhoods where the resources are. Geographical areas and housing is so important because that's where the resources go. If you have a neighborhood, they funnel the resources, the education, the tools, the protection, the security, the best products, they all go where the wealth goes, and where it's classism in a certain way, but it's based on racism. When the Jews, and I'll land my plane in just a moment, I just want to say this. The Jewish people, the difference in, you see Jews that come in and they do very well. They control the media, they control music. Some of them, I had a good friend of mine, Barry Cahan, in Highland Park in Illinois, where Michael Jordan has a hard time selling his mansion. But for a while, Highland, Illinois is a major town that a lot of people and a lot of Jews live. And we always have these arguments about whether Jews are wealthy or not, but Jews are wealthy because they were able, and they've made some certain things. They've learned a certain survival technique. It's called name change. The Weinsteins could always dumb their name down. They could change their names, make it full letter, the Wins, or whatever it was. They could hide their identity and not be attacked until they got the strength to come out, and came out by choice. We can't do that wearing this brown melanated skin. You can't come out and win at random or by choice. You have to be out all the time. So whatever the biases are, whatever the prejudices are, whatever the attacks are, you're gonna feel them, and you gotta be ready to deal with them. And a lot of times we're not ready to deal with those economically. And I'll let my plane with that.
Excellent.
So, this is Kelly. Real quick, I've been listening for a while, and I will say this. Even though sometimes when people move or relocate from blue states to red states, they tend to keep the same way that they voted. Sometimes. I was listening to some of the reasonings. I promise you, the reason that a lot of people relocate is not so that they can change the votes of that particular state to another party. Typically, like I know when I moved from New York to North Carolina, I did it for the weather. Some people do it for finances. Some people want to have a house with big open spaces, so they relocate. It's not about so that we can vote to turn the state from red to blue or from blue to red or anything like that. And then the last thing I wanted to say is, hey everybody, hope everybody's having a great day. Been here for like 3 hours listening, so hope y'all are having a great day.
My day is unbelievable. I was waiting for 4 hours.
Right. Kelly, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time, sister. It's great to see you out here again. I mean, I saw you a while back, but I haven't been on Clubhouse in a minute. But I know we used to rock in the same rooms a long time ago, back in the day. How are you? Good to see you.
Drew! No, I've been good. Just, trying to stay cool. It's, the dog days of summer are not so dogging up here in New York right now.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. All right, well, good. Good to see you. Glad I must be in the right room then. I see you pop in here. It's got to be the right room. I didn't see you at first. You changed your pic. You used to have a red photo, right?
Yes, I still have my red blazer, but I will say this: when I'm in this room, I'm not in professional mode, so I don't have the professional.
Got it.
Yes, that's still me.
Take off my jacket when I come in here, huh? Okay, I got
That
it.
part, but
I'm learning.
now.
I'm learning. All right, got it. This is fantastic, though. Great conversation, guys. You got me in here, and I got things to do today. I'm sure, but it was good conversations. Great people. Mister, I think I followed you. I followed you now. I can see you got a special thing on your bio, but following back if you would, I'd like to keep in contact with you and be able to match up a little bit more. I like to get some people, that are about it and understand. They don't have to agree with me, but at least we're making some intelligent conversation and getting some valid points that we can tackle. Because there's a lot of things out here, and I think that together, it doesn't have to be in total agreement, but it has to be spirited. It has to be with wisdom. It has to be wisdom based. You have to have a DNA, a steel beam in the ground, something that is the core that everything is operating from. And intelligence needs to be one of them, I think. You know what I'm saying? So always good to meet some great people.
Hey, Drew. job, and there was one thing you said about, the Jewish. I was going to add the fact that one thing about it is they also have their women behind them.
Oh yeah.
Now I know that's a sensitive topic. A lot of people, let's be real, it's cut the chase. I've seen this rum, and the title is "Are Black Men Stupid? Why Do They Support Trump?" And that's not very uniting, and I see a lot of it going on. A lot of ladies are trying to say, "Hey, black men, get in line." When God's order is, "Hey, you get in line with what the man's doing." If the man's not making the right choice, believe his presence, And
I don't even know what you're talking about. Most women.
Can you stop?
But yeah, most women.
Listen. Listen. I'm getting nothing. You might be offended, but it's gonna pass. Okay? Now I'm gonna break it down again. It's very simple. I was simply stating that Jewish, they also have the support of their woman. It's safe to say that black men and black women are not getting along enough, right? It's not. So,
Y'all let it finish and then hold on.
So if it's, I have a question.
Give me 1 second. I'm right next to you. Not to the top. So I think you made a really big statement there, okay? And so what I'm trying to cultivate people to do is when they make statements like that on the stage, come with the supporting evidence. Everybody, I see that you like a comment on her, but please wait until he offers his supporting evidence. If you can't offer supporting evidence, then you seem right off the mic. But I'd like to give you the opportunity to offer some supporting evidence, and then we can open a queue, right? And y'all can diplomatically, argue. Please go ahead.
Okay, so they want supporting evidence of what I said. Okay, sounds good, right? Not just on social media, but the results in our community, right? If the woman as a majority supported the men, we wouldn't have been degraded for all these years upon lies, which you can go to blackdemographics.com. You got so many people, other races, and especially ours, saying that, our black fathers aren't present. We're the most present in America. You got so many people saying that we out here making all these kids out of wedlock. Most of us don't have kids, and most of us who have kids are married. So you got these kind of information being pushed, and you got a lot of black women publicly saying it, right? They're educated. They can do the research on this stuff and see that it's not true, but they're saying it in massive numbers. We got this title up in here, "Are Black Men Stupid?" For Kamala, how about, hey, are black men misled, or what can we do to come together? And I see a whole lot of rums and black women telling black men to get in line, right? Do we really need to do a deep dive research to show that most of the women in our community do not support most of the men? Do we really need to do that? Go ahead. People can answer. Go ahead.
Hold on. The first thing I'm gonna say is this house belongs to a man. This was a man's topic. You guys can go next.
Okay.
I just wanted to. Can I get in queue? I wanted to respond to this gentleman.
Go next. Go.
I wanted to say, this is a very ridiculous take, Keen. I don't even know what you mean by fall in line, because black people overall, black men and women, vote overwhelmingly for the Democratic Party. Black men somewhere in the 80 percentile, black women averaging somewhere around 90%. Women in general, whether you're black, white, whatever, they vote to the left of men. That is in every group. So I don't even know what you're getting at by this fall in line type conversation. In the spirit of posting evidence, I put the voting patterns from Pew Research of both Jewish people in the chat and also overall voting patterns in the midterm elections 2022. So people can look at the voting patterns by both gender, agenda to, better the community. Thank you. I'm done.
Can I reply to that? Can I reply to that?
Hold on just a second, my guy. And just one more thing before you can allow me to be short. Fuck politics. Black women have supported black men for centuries. It's a silly take, because if that narrative is being shaped by where you spend most of your time, which is probably on these kinds of forums, then you would probably think that. But in general, in real life, that is not the case. Black women have always supported black men, and vice versa. So I say this as a rule. In most cases, that we are not each other's enemy. Black women and black men are not the enemy of one another. Our enemy is white supremacy. That is our problem as well. So that we do not have problems with one another. I know some phenomenal, absolutely fucking phenomenal black women, and they're very supportive of black men. And I know some phenomenal black men who are very supportive of black women, and that is the majority of us. So when you allow the fringe group of people that you know or that you experience to dictate that narrative, then you're just going to be inaccurate. So it's not. You're going to see some pushback from that, and you should, because it's not true.
Well, Quinn, I gotta. If King, I think you're next. I don't mean to take your place.
No, go ahead. I'm going to do it. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add in right quick on top of what you said, because I understand what you were saying, and I don't want to. You weren't saying literally about falling in line, although that expectation is what you mentioned. Everybody got to put their critical listening in on and make sure we got the exact words that you were saying, and not just. I hate being misunderstood, and I know that most people do, but in this case, the getting in line, although we do support it, Quinn, I understand what you're saying. There is and when you look at things, black women are the salt of the earth. They not only took care of all of us, every black man that's raised here, most of us were raised by black women. So the support, we went from childhood, from the cradle, and goes, I just lost my mom recently, and, all the way from cradle to the grave, is where the support goes on. And any black woman with a child, black children, they must be defended. At the same time, though, they are inside this world that we are not necessarily readily accepted in unless we fall in line. The falling in line comes in corporate America, where the browbeating happens, or the acceptance goes in, and we have to conform to a certain dynamic and still be the man of the house when the black family is under attack. It's been under siege. It's been that way. Look at the military and industrial complex that recruits our young men to war. We're the first ones in the war. They don't mind us going there, but when you look at the prison industrial complex, from the school to the prison, that's a whole other dynamic, and we are literally being warehoused, and we are supporting entire towns with the labor of our black bodies, and with an unjust justice system that slaps whites on the wrist for certain things. They slam the door closed for us for decades or years, snatching us away from the family, and also making us look bad, putting the stigma on the back of a black man. Now the black woman is having a problem in the house with a black man that's having problems with the attacks he's feeling around society. Black men, like white men, like Asian men, like Spanish men, like all the men who have their own culture, language, and economics behind them, we desire to stand as men in the household and be kings to our women, and be respected to our women and to our children. We desire that, but all the time, if we don't get your economics, my old man told me a long time ago, no finance, no romance, and when you
No sense, brother.
Huh?
I said no romance, no finance, no finance.
Right. Okay. So I mean, these are things that we deal with in a real live sense, and it's real. And when black women, as strong as they are, can only take so much influence before they begin to let it affect unwittingly, unintentionally, begins to affect how they even look at things. That's it's called programming. That's why they write things on the TV shows and the radio shows, and the things that we do and the things we think are innocent. These words, these lyrics, these rap lyrics, it's entertaining. The beats are funky, but the words are poison. a lot of them. And there's different things you can do to offset that. But after a while, no matter how strong we are, even the strongest bridge can be deteriorated over time, and with these small cuts, these small deteriorations, erosions in the base of the strength of what it is in the black men are the core and the strength of the black community. But black women have been that way, and when they have to pick up an excessive weight, or they have to lean and carry a heavier load than any woman should have to carry. Black women are just used to it. They make it look easy, but it's not. And they are supportive. I agree. However, we're having a war right now. It's not against each other, but it's a war for the hearts and minds of I feel we're fighting for the hearts and minds of our women to get the support that every other race gets without a fight. Spanish,
Why?
Asian, white, huh?
Drew, why is that?
Well, I don't know. I think I would say I can't speak from a matter of fact, but I can speak from a matter of opinion. And my opinion and my experience has been that even though they talk consciously about certain things, that the war, the battles are knocking some chinks in the armor of our relationship. The black love is being attacked under siege as well, because we have to constantly adjust to certain things. And then the economics, if we had better economics, if we could stand on that money, I don't care what you say.
There's only one way to improve your economics, and that's through wisdom and intelligence. And if you don't have that, you'll never have love between man or woman.
Now I want to be a better picture. So I think we got 17% in poverty. I think the thing is we have economics. We're not united enough. A lot of people, like I said about black men being the most present father. How many black men do you think know that about each other? A lot of them don't. We're not united enough.
Right.
A lot of times, and not to get too off subject, but like I was talking to this Hispanic the other day. He's like, well, he don't like black people. And in this case, it was a black guy. He's like, you got the different people come to prison. They're welcomed in by their race. But when the black man comes in, people wondering if he's the R word or a abuser. They're not welcoming him in, trying to see what the situation is. They're more of like looking for scrutiny. And you look at when it comes to a lot of the relationships in our community, how many times have you heard it like, your guy ain't good enough? How many times you're seeing that brothers are doing good or on their game, but there's someone they're looking for, what is he doing wrong so he can be called Dusty? You said this war that we're having. Well, I haven't fully read the Willie Lynch letter. Have you, Drew?
Oh, absolutely. It's
right.
Yeah.
Right. And how much of that is happening?
Oh, it's happening all the time. It's a lot of it's happening all the time in every area. You can see, when you think about it, guys. When you go to a place, if you have a place, think about your home, right? If you have some water that comes into your home, depending on where it's at, where it's coming in at, you can kind of cordon it off and you secure that area where everything else is a dry spot, right? And then you attack water where it's coming in. You find out where the leak is and you repair it, right? Otherwise, you tear your house, ruins your foundation. But what happens when you've got water coming in at 5 places in the house? It's coming into the
Interesting.
Hey, I know that you don't have a purpose on this earth, but if you don't mind, if it'd be okay with you, we're gonna pencil in a pregnancy on Tuesday. Is that cool, Mary? Like I don't even understand where there is a contention.
Fine, just say that consenting applicable, that's the way God does it, and it's fine. I wouldn't consider, I probably wouldn't, but
No, we do not consent to that.
the original person was trying to double down and say, oh yes, she did consent. That's what we're talking about.
One thing about it's very clear that she said, let it be done according to your word unto me. Let what you have said happen to me. That was her consent.
Yeah, I was wondering, what if she said, Lord, I don't know if this is the right time right now.
Exactly.
I know you want me to do it. I'm too young. I'm not married yet. How am I going to support this child, Lord? I
It's
just
my
don't know.
body, God, my choice. Sorry. Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, before you go here, I've explained how, with the power balance, right? Even if she was, let's say, maybe like some kind of like random thing, kind of woman who really didn't want to get pregnant for the next 5 years. No matter the reason. The kind of God we're talking about, if she had the knowledge of that kind of God, it's not the kind of God that, child God, I don't want it, it's not that kind of relationship, that power balance. So, just say, it's inapplicable, the consent thing, just ask for something, and do it, back model, and it's okay, and you say that.
Fair enough, but what if he knew she would consent? If you knew that before you even asked her or even said anything? What if you knew that?
But influence the best explanation. I don't think that's the way that God works. When we look in the other stories in the Old Testament, I don't think he's like, oh, let me seek out.
Like David? Think about David. He was a scared, timid little shepherd boy that nobody would think could slay a Goliath, and he became a king. I think that God's perfect will and like his purpose that he can see for us that we don't see in ourselves. I'm sure that like Mary, if stepping back, there's no way I can do this. I mean, like me. Yeah, but God knew.
It's like that makes it better if God actually like sought out someone who he knew would be amenable to that, wouldn't mind, before just doing it and then say, I've done it, I put the baby into you. That makes it better than him choosing somebody who wouldn't want it, right? But still, that's not consent. If you look at my analogies, that's not consent. If you've already done it, I've done it. The analogies I've been given, like a big powerful man comes and dumps some valuable stuff in my living room, and even if I come dancing for joy that it's been done, he still did it without my consent after he did it, and then I'm happy afterwards. So yes, it makes it better that this God is kind of like uses his knowledge to choose who would be happy with it if he does it before telling the person. It makes it a little bit better.
I'm surprised we've been going over this for about 45 minutes, and you have not yet been able to construct a sufficient analogy. A better analogy would be just to use that model that you used. Would be a man comes to your house and he says, I have all this stuff in my truck, and I want to dump it. I'm going to dump it into your living room, and then you say, well, let's say he demonstrates that he's very powerful, he's very influential, or let's say an agent of the president, if you will, comes to your house. He says, I have this equipment, I'm going to place it in your living room, and then you say to that FBI agent or that CIA agent, what you said, let that be done. All right, let that stuff be dumped into my house. That is a more sufficient analogy.
I can tell you why this is different in the case of a God. God has foreknowledge, he has stuff. So when he comes and he says, let me finish. No, CIA or whatever, the big truck man doesn't have that. When that God says that, well, you will be with child, I will do this, and he's already saying this in the future, and it's not like asking you whether we can do this. That's a little different from the guy, rich man with the truck saying, can I dump it? And I say, yes, you can dump it. When he
forget the truck, man. It's the CIA. It's the CIA, they know everything. So they come and they say, we have this equipment, we want to put it in your house. It's gonna stay in your living room for about 9 months. And you say, see what you just said, Agent Smith, let that be done. Let that happen. I want I
if they
want
were
that
if
Well,
equipment.
that
they were
doesn't
like
sound like
no if they were like
consent.
if they were like powerful and intimidating to the point whereby you might be afraid to say no potentially, then I would say, like I started in the beginning, there is some kind of issue there. It's a gray area. You know, one might still try to argue that, oh, what if I was happy with it and stuff like that, but it's counterfactual. In the case where you weren't happy with it, you might have an issue because you might be very reluctant to actually push back against such a power, and it's a gray area. That's
But
as
what
far as
if
I
the
can go.
equipment is something like the I see Daniel has this unicorn, but what if it's something like the Pegasus spyware from Israel, and to some degree is going to supply you with intel that otherwise you won't be able to have access to. So it puts you in a category above your average, your peers even. So you say, yeah, let that happen. I want that technology, that equipment in my living room. It's a more sufficient equivalent analogy.
Yeah, I still think
Exactly, Kitty. One of those.
exactly what Titi said. So like going to round and round in circles so much. Like like with the God, right? With all the knowledge and stuff like that. And the thing I kept saying as well, that counterfactually, if you weren't happy, that okay, this thing is very valuable. Most people would want it. You don't like the ugly analogies, right? But there might be people where maybe if you had their baby, they're billionaires, so you will inherit half of it. So the,
Hi, Duke of Bachelors, are you there? Please, guys, one pick at a time. Duke of Bachelors, are you there? Adrian, you're welcome to the room. Duke of Bachelors, are you there? Can you respond to me using the room chat? If that's fine. You're cute, by the way.